Hello everyone, this is Mr. Scott here, trying to shoot a little video so that you can see how to factorise quadratic expressions. Now, this is the reverse process to what we were doing in the previous lesson, which is expanding double brackets. So, have a look at a question. Example. Factorise x squared add 9x add 20. So when we were multiplying out double brackets, we ended up with something like this, with an x squared term, an x squared, an x term, and a number. And now we're starting from this and we're going back to having double brackets. So I think the first thing we need to do is to make a note to ourselves in the left-hand margin so we know what this topic is about. So what does factorise mean? So just like in the classroom, I'm making use of the Cornell note structure. I've got my left-hand margin here and I've got a summary box at the bottom. And I'm going to be asking myself questions in the left-hand margin, which I can self-test, cover this up, ask myself what does factorise mean, and then look for the answer once I've had a go at answering the question myself. So what does factorise mean? Factorise means find things that multiply to make. Okay, so if I was factorising 6, I'd be looking for 2 times by 3. Here, I'm looking for 2 things which I'm going to be putting in brackets that multiply to make x squared add 9x add 20. Okay, and as I've already hinted at, this is to do with multiplication. So just as in the reverse process where I was multiplying out the double brackets, I'm going to make use of the multiplication grid here like this. Okay, now the x squared term can go straight into that box there, and we know that x squared is made by multiplying x times by x. All right. The number term goes straight into that box there, and that's exactly where they were when we were multiplying out double brackets. And 20 is the result of this number here multiplied by this number here. Unfortunately, there's a number of different ways that I could make 20. It might be 1 times 20, it might be 2 times 10, it might be 4 times 5. What I've done here is I've written out the factor pairs of that number. I've written out the factor pairs of 20 in order. 1 times something, 2 times something. I tried 3 times something, it didn't work. 4 times something, and then there's no space for another factor between 4 and 5, so I know that I've got all of them. And again, good idea, do a little bit of self-quizzing here. What are the factor pairs of 20? Okay, there they are. Now, I need to choose one of these pairs. It might be 1 times 20, might be 2 times 10, might be 4 times 5. And put those numbers here and here. Now, these 2 squares here, this term is made by whatever this number is times by x, and this term here is whatever this number is times by x, and then we will add them together to get this middle term 9x. So something x add something x makes 9x. So we look at these numbers here from the factor pairs of 20, and we're looking for the pair that add up to make this middle number. And it's got to be 4 and 5. So I'm going to put 4 here and 5 here. Doesn't matter if you've put 5 here and 4 here, that's perfectly fine, not a problem there. So here I've got 4 times x, and here I've got x times by 5, and these then would add up to make 9x, and we're just about there. So x squared add 9x add 20 is x add 4 in brackets times by x add 5 in brackets, and again, if they're the opposite way round, that is not a problem. Okay, and just here I'm going to make a note, find two numbers that multiply to make 20 and add to make 9. Okay, now this is on slide 4 of the PowerPoint, and you'll see when you look at that that there is your turn as well, which asks you to do this: factorise x squared add 12x add 20. So what you should do now is pause the video, have a go at that yourself, and then start the video up and you'll see how I did it. Okay, so because it's to do with multiplication, do a multiplication grid. X squared goes straight into there. 20 goes straight into there. X squared is x times x. 20 is 1 times 20, or 2 times 10, or 4 times 5. Just the same as on the previous example. Now, I need to choose one of these pairs that multiplies to make 20, but adds up to make 12. And that's this pair here. So I'm going to put 2 here and 10 here. If you've got them the other way around, that's perfectly fine. And that gives me 2x in this box, 10x in this box, and they add up to make 12x. So my final answer then is x squared add 12x add 20 is equal to x add 2 times by x add 10. And that is done. I'm just going to write myself a little summary at the bottom of the page so that when I come to look back at this, I'll know what's going on. And my summary is that this is the reverse process to expanding brackets that we did last lesson. There you go. Have a go at the slides or the questions on slides 5 and 7, and you should be able to do 11, and then I'll come back for some extra explanation on slide 16. Okay, thanks very much guys, talk to you later.